Sarah Ellington had been called many things in her 93 years: genius, miracle worker, architect of a new age. But the title the world settled on was simple: the smartest person alive. Her inventions had rewritten what humanity believed was possible. She designed the micro-lattice surgical mesh that allowed organs to regenerate from within, making once terminal diseases reversible. She created the atmospheric soil rebalancer, a device no larger than a backpack that restored barren earth to richness and revived entire farming communities. Countries that had known centuries of famine watched crops unfurl in green waves across land once considered dead. Lives changed, futures altered, nations flourished. And now, as she lay in a quiet hospital room overlooking a city park, the world waited for her one last time. Rumours had circulated, reaching fever pitch. She has one final insight. She will leave humanity with her greatest gift yet. No one could agree on what it might be, but everyone agreed on this: whatever Sarah shared in her final moments would shape humanity for the better. So people gathered. Screens glowed in crowded city squares. Children sat cross-legged in school halls, clutching their teachers' hands. Villages where her soil technology had ended starvation stood in reverent silence. Even world leaders paused in the middle of tense negotiations to watch the live stream. Planes were delayed, boats anchored, streets stilled. And beyond the foot of Sarah's bed, cameras blinked like patient stars. Sarah had been still for hours. Her breaths were small, hardly disturbing the blanket laid across her. A single nurse, Emma, waited at her side, calm, steady, endlessly loyal. She had been chosen because Sarah trusted her, and because Emma alone did not tremble under the weight of caring for the world's smartest person. Then, softly, like a sigh rising through sunlight, Sarah opened her eyes. Her gaze drifted to Emma, barely perceptible. Sarah lifted one hand, a gesture so slight that only Emma saw it. The world held its breath. Emma leaned in. Sarah's lips moved, shaping a whisper so quiet it was meant only for the nurse's ear. Emma nodded, her face unreadable, and gently slid an arm behind Sarah's shoulders. With surprising ease, she helped the frail woman sit upright. The monitors hissed softly, the cameras whirred. Humanity waited. Emma then walked to the window. For a moment she rested her hand on the frame, just long enough for tension to coil tight around the globe. Then she unlatched it and pushed it open wide. A stream of air flowed inside. It carried the clear, sweet smell of flowers blooming somewhere just out of sight. The fragrance tumbled through the room, soft and familiar. Lavender, daisies, something citrus on the edge of memory. Beneath it came the earthy, comforting scent of freshly cut grass, the kind that instantly recalls childhood summers and gentle mornings. The breeze shifted the curtains and brushed across Sarah's cheeks like a tender hand. From the nearby park floated the faint sound of children playing. Their laughter rose and fell in delicate ripples, light, high, entirely free. A ball bounced. Someone squealed with delight. Another giggle joined, then another, layering a soundtrack of innocence so pure the room seemed to glow with it. And then the sun broke through the clouds. Light streamed into the room in golden sheets, scattering across the walls and floor. Dust spun like tiny galaxies. The metal rails of Sarah's bed shimmered. Her thin silver hair caught the glow and radiated it back into a soft halo. Colours danced in quiet patterns, warm, shifting, alive. It was a moment suspended outside of time. Sarah inhaled one slow, peaceful breath, and her eyes, filled with both exhaustion and something like contentment, closed for the final time. The monitor gave a gentle, sorrowful tone. Emma bowed her head. Across the world, the silence shattered into disbelief. Broadcasters stammered. Commentators blinked uselessly at their screens, grasping for meaning where none had been spoken. Social feeds exploded. What did she say? Where's the message? Did Emma hear it? Did Sarah leave no final wisdom at all? Crowds that had waited for hours felt their hearts sink. Some cried openly, some grew angry, some simply stared, hollow with disappointment. How could the greatest mind of the age leave without giving humanity direction for the future? Nations resumed, cities restarted, the world turned again, but with a heaviness that clung like a morning fog. Only Emma remained in the quiet room, closing the window as gently as she had opened it. She looked at Sarah's peaceful face, and the faintest smile touched her lips, because Sarah had left a message, a final insight, a last gift. It just wasn't the one the world expected. It wasn't a formula or a blueprint or a grand instruction. It was the smell of flowers, the sound of children laughing, the warmth of sunlight dancing across a quiet room. Her final whisper, heard only by Emma, had been simple. Let the world see what matters. And with that, Sarah Ellington, the woman who reshaped the world, offered humanity the wisdom it needed most, wrapped not in brilliance, but in natural beauty.